The Chicago Bears made a trade. They traded back to pick number 56 with the Buffalo Bills and drafted offensive tackle Ozzie Trapilo out of Boston College, Ryan Poles' alma mater. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears draft reaction video, and this was another pick that kind of caught me by surprise, but also not really, because the Bears hinted at adding competition for Braxton Jones and just adding more talent at the tackle spot. It is interesting because using a very high pick, this is a second round pick on a player that probably isn't going to start for you right away, is more of a draft and develop type of approach, which again, in the second round, like, you're expecting big things out of this dude. If you extend Braxton Jones and this guy is only on the bench, probably would not be the best pick. But again, guys, like, Braxton Jones, first of all, might not be extended by the Bears. He could be going, especially if the Bears made a big investment in Ozzie Trapilo, in the second round. So, if Ozzie does pan out, like, Braxton Jones could be on his way out of Chicago in 2026 if you don't want to pay him $25 million per year, which is what it's probably going to be costing to extend Braxton Jones. Tackles get paid so much money in the NFL. So, it's a pick that more is for the future, but also for the present too, to some extent, because injuries happen so often on the offensive line, and Braxton Jones already got injured last year, so we needed better, security at the tackle spot, because we let go of Larry Borom. Larry Borom is not coming back, and Kiran Amegadjie was very bad in his rookie year. He's still young, still has potential. I'm not giving up on Kiran Amegadjie, but he just was so bad last year. Like, he did not seem like he belonged at the NFL level. So I'm not going to be mad at adding more talent to the offensive line, to the trenches, because you can never have enough talent at that spot. It's a position that NFL teams draft very highly every single year with good reason, because the best offensive lines usually go very far in the playoffs. So from that point of view, I'm definitely okay with this pick. It's pretty interesting. The Bears are going so hard in investing on the offensive side of the football. In the past couple drafts, honestly, the first three picks of the last draft, 2024, were all on the offensive side, and same with this draft as well in 2025. So it really goes to show you Ryan Poles is doing everything he can really to build a top offense in Chicago, hiring Ben Johnson, investing so much in the trenches, getting so many playmakers. And, it's a pretty exciting pick from that point of view. I mean, this team does understand you have to invest early in the trenches on the offensive line if you do want to have a good offensive line. I do want to quickly talk about the trade, though, before I talk more about Ozzie Trapilo. So the Bears traded with the Buffalo Bills. The Chicago Bears traded picks number 41, 72, and 240 in exchange for picks number 56, 62, and 109. So basically, they went back in the second round, 15 spots from their second pick, but then they moved up 10 spots from their round 3 pick to the end of round 2, and they also got a 4th round pick instead of a 7th round pick. So overall, a pretty fantastic trade by Ryan Poles. You gained a lot of value in this trade. I feel like they didn't want anybody at pick number 41. If Trevion Henderson was there, they probably would have selected him, but it seems like nobody was really available on the Chicago Bears board that they really wanted so badly at that spot. So to trade back and, move your round 3 pick into round 2, I thought was pretty fantastic, because Ryan Poles cannot draft for shit in round 3. His round 3 picks have been pretty bad. So, hey, you can't miss in the 3rd round if you don't have a 3rd round pick. I think Ryan Poles should just keep on trading all the 3rd round picks for his rest of the time as GM. But jokes aside, guys, like, big fan of this trade, and, pretty big fan of the pick as well. Let's talk more about what he's going to be bringing to the Chicago Bears. So Ozzie Trapilo is a massive guy. He's 6'8", 316 pounds, arm length 33 inches. So really tall dude. I mean, 6'8" is a behemoth of a man. He tested really good in terms of RAS score. Speed was solid, 9.0 RAS. And if you look at what the tape says, he's pretty sound in terms of pass protection with how he uses his hands, his arm extension. His power is really good in his upper body. He has fantastic play strength. I think going up against NFL level defensive linemen, he's going to do a good job against them, because he's really, really strong on tape. And The one thing he can improve on probably is run blocking. As a run blocker, sometimes he can get a little bit lost. So there's going to be some development that has to happen here with our new offensive line coach, Dan Rouchard. But if Dan Rouchard signed off on this pick, there's a lot to like in his frame, in his physicality, and his overall potential. I mean, this guy could be a high-level starter at the left tackle spot. He was a round 2 projection by most mock drafts, and some people had him going early in round 2. So to get him at the end of round 2 is a pretty good pick by Ryan Poles. Looking at the games he played in college, so he was a 4-year starter. He's definitely an older prospect. He's going to be 24 during the 2025 season, but the experience he had in college football is pretty helpful. Offensive line is a position that the more starts you get, the better you are. Usually in 2021, he played in 10 games. 2022, he played in 9 games. And then 2023 and 2024, he played in 12 games each. And looking at the positions he played, so he played both left tackle and right tackle. In 2022, he played only left tackle, but then 2023 and 2024, he played exclusively right tackle. So he does have that versatility to play both left tackle and right tackle. If there's injuries to Darnell Wright or to Braxton Jones, Ozzie Trapilo is a guy that can step in. And he graded out really well, again, in terms of pass blocking grade according to PFF. The run blocking was, hit or miss sometimes, but in terms of pass protection, he's really solid. He has more play strength, I feel like, than Braxton Jones has, who sometimes can get bull rush. So you're getting a stronger guy in Ozzie Trapilo with more physical gifts, maybe even than Braxton Jones had. Although Braxton Jones also was pretty physically gifted in terms of speed and all of that, but I feel like Trapilo might be the better pass protector long term. He also has NFL bloodlines. His dad was a 4th round pick by the Saints and was a starting guard, which that's pretty cool. But yeah, in year 1 for the Chicago Bears, I don't really see him starting. I don't really see him beating out Braxton Jones that early, but who knows? Anything could happen. I mean, Braxton Jones is dealing with the injury that he suffered at the end of last season. So if that injury does linger, if he has to miss any time in camp and Ozzie Trapilo just has a fantastic camp, I would not rule out maybe him starting at some point this year, although I think it's more likely Ozzie Trapilo starts in the case of injury. And even then, he has to beat out Kiran Amegadji, too, who was a 3rd round pick last year at tackle. So the Bears have invested a lot now at the tackle spot in terms of draft capital. They invested 5th round pick in Braxton Jones, number 10 overall pick in Darnell Wright, a 3rd round pick in Kiran Amegadji, and then a 2nd round pick in Ozzie Trapilo. So you really hope that these guys, at least one of these guys can turn into a superstar. I think Darnell Wright has the most potential for sure to be a star level tackle, but hopefully Braxton Jones or Ozzie Trapilo or Kiran Amegadji can be that long-term option at left tackle. Let me know what you guys think about this pick down below in the comments. There were some other guys available that I would have liked as well. For example, Nick Scorton, but I'm going to trust Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson, especially their judgment on this. And I'm never going to complain about adding talent in the trenches, especially on the offensive line when the Chicago Bears have struggled so much on the offensive line with allowing so many sacks, with being so bad, so inconsistent in pass protection. Like Caleb is getting, so much help this offseason in terms of offensive linemen, both in the NFL draft and in free agency, and also just getting Ben Johnson, a guy that actually knows how to use all these football players. It's going to be very, very exciting to watch. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys. What do you guys think about this pick? I'll be back with another video, the Shamar Turner video, our final pick of day 2. But yeah, leave your comments down below. As always, bear down.